It is June 10th, 2019. We're here at 4650 Harvey Road in San Diego, California, 92116. We're here on the side of the house where we have a 3-inch ABS plastic clean out. A bunch of spiders living in the pipe right here, so we get a bunch of cobwebs. A little bit of debris from all that. So we're going to go ahead and just pause for 1 second to go ahead and flush this off the face of the camera. Okay, so we just ran the lavatory sink for a second and flushed the toilet. So you can see now we've got a clear view of the plastic pipe, a little bit of water on the bottom there. So this is right where the toilet dumps into the line. Here's the T-junction right here. So this is the beginning of the sewer. Everything, back up our cable here. So this first 7 feet right here is just the clean out pipe. This is now the sewer pipe here. 3-inch that's here transforms right here into the 4-inch cast iron. So we're now in the original 4-inch cast iron of the pipe. This little bit is in the crawl space. We're going to see if we're headed towards Harvey Road or if it makes a turn. Internally, there's not too much buildup or scale yet, so it looks really good on the inside, completely functional. Okay, I think we have a T-junction right here on the left, and that should be where our kitchen ties in. We do have a powder bathroom on the other side of the house as well, so we're going to pause the video for a second and test this T-junction. Okay, so we've turned the water on, and there you go, just started flowing in here. So that is where the kitchen empties in. It does look like it might be bigger than a 2-inch pipe. Because we do have a toilet over there, so it would need to be at least a 3-inch pipe dumping into the system. So we're going to go ahead and shut that off, and then we'll check that kitchen line across, as well as the bathroom. Okay, so we've shut the kitchen water off, so that's going to slowly dissipate here. We're going to continue to push forward in the meantime. We'll come back and we'll actually locate this. It appears that it's probably in the courtyard. Look down the rest of this main to make sure it does look good. A little bit of standing water right here. As we back up here, so we kind of come over that little hump of buildup right there, and then we have this standing water in the system. So hopefully this is a very small pocket. There we go, came out of that. So we got a mini little sag belly to the line right back there. A little bit of scale and deposits built up on the bottom of the right and left sides of the line there, but minimal, nothing to be concerned about right now. Bit of build up there. Okay, we have a little bit of roots intruding right here, so unfortunately what this means is the cast iron pipe is starting to fail. Obviously it's an old home, original pipe, so the walls of the pipe are starting to crack and fall apart, and it's letting some roots get in the line. One little tiny one right there, which doesn't even need to be snaked or jetted, but unfortunately that's just indicative of what's going to happen in the future. Push down the rest of the line, see if there's anything else, and we'll come back and locate that small area. So you can see we've got some buildup, like I said, on the bottom left and right side, and up here on the upper left, so little pockets here and there. That is part of the line essentially starting to go bad, but it's still intact and functional right now. we've got some roots right here. So this is a little bit bigger intrusion coming from the top, right and left sides. So the first intrusion was at about 50 feet out. This is about 57 approximately from the clean out, so we'll come back and locate both of those. Okay, looks like somebody's put in some other clean outs here. This is transitioning from the cast iron to plastic ABS. And then there's another clean out right there. And another clean out there. So there's some double sweep clean outs, which we didn't notice, must be in the front there, in front of the courtyard. And then here we have our clay pipe. So you can see here we have an improper transition. Not a huge deal, but the clay pipe, you can actually see the wall of the pipe, the thickness of it. The ABS plastic is slightly lower than the clay as it's coming up to it. So they misaligned these two pipes just in a very small amount. Could have even occurred when they backfilled or tampered the ground above the pipe. They didn't put proper supports above it. It's hard to say, but that's why you get that little lake of standing water there. And then as I'm trying to push my camera there, so it kind of catches on the lip. So not a big deal. It's a very small little misalignment, but it is there. Okay, so here's why they put the clean outs in. We've got some heavy root intrusions, some more here in the clay pipe, and this is going to be typical with clay, unfortunately. So the joining method of the two pieces of clay is a very weak method of just being pushed together with a greased up rubber boot, and the pipe is in short lengths of every 4 feet, so it happens quite often, unfortunately. See, here's another intrusion here. Another intrusion here. So that's why they put these clean outs in. So they, more roots here, pretty heavy. Some more at this hub. Okay, here's a transition into the city that replaced this line with some Greenbelt PVC pipes. You can see the change out of the white into the green pipe here. So this was replaced, and then here's our city line here at just 88 feet out from the clean out. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and pull back to some of the root intrusions in the clay and the cast iron. Okay, so we're at the very last root intrusion, and we turn the camera back on while we locate this just because we put water down the area drain, and you can see it's flowing now into the sewer pipe. So that's not to code. They did put a trap on the line to prevent sewer gases coming back up, but you're not allowed to put storm water or any other water into the sewer system. And so you can see the water that's running by is the 2.5 gallons that we just dumped down there. So we just wanted to show video proof of that. So we'll pull back farther just to kind of see where it's dumping into the line. We didn't notice any other T-junctions, but it is coming in illegally. Okay, so we've located this very small last root intrusion, the clay. This is out in the street, just about a car length out. We've marked it with one little green paint dot just to denote it. And we're going to do that with all these clay intrusions, root intrusions in the clay pipe, just so everybody's aware how many there are and where they're at on the property. The distance makes a matter when somebody's trying to snake it or hydrojet it out, so that they're aware. I'm going to go ahead and keep pausing. So we're going to keep this pause. We're going to come back and just mark all of them. Okay, so we pulled back to the ABS cleanouts that were put in the front yard, in front of the sidewalk. We did mark all. We have 5 root intrusions in the clay pipe. Those are all marked on with green dots. The pipe is about 2.5 feet to 3 feet deep into the street, so it's not a super deep pipe. But again, it's under city property, so it's not going to be where you can dig it up and replace it. We got this clean out here uncovered and painted with some green on the lid. It's under quite a bit of the bark and that front landscaping, but we have that marked there. Now we'll go ahead and here's our cast iron. Hard to see if that's some debris on the top or a little tiny root. Probably just some debris. So let's just see here. We've got just a foot or so of ABS, and again, it's all the original cast. So now I'm going to pull back through the cast to, here's that roots that are getting in right here where the pipe is starting to fail. We're going to go ahead and mark this out. Okay, so this cast iron that's failing with the roots intruding, the pipe is 25 inches deep, so a little over 2 feet. It's just on the edge of the bed of the landscaping there before you get to the concrete and tile walkway there before you get into the yard. So we've got that marked with a flag denoting roots at 25 inches, and it's the cast iron pipe. So I'll now go ahead and pull back here. Right at about 50 feet, I believe we had the one other little small one that was able to get in right there. So we know that the pipe is getting weak and very thin right there as well, because there's no hub right there. Go ahead and park our camera here and locate this. Okay, so we located this one spot in the pipe where the root is starting to grow in from the failure of the cast iron. This is literally under the separating wall from the front yard to the courtyard. So we've got that marked with some chalk, again 2 feet deep. Now I'm going to pull back through this cast iron. We're going to go ahead and run some water again through the area drain to see where that's dumping into the system. Now we know that coming up here we have where we can see the kitchen drain dump in, which also may be for the sewer. Oh, we may have a small root there on the right side growing in. That one little piece there on the right hand side, that could be some really very small fine roots there. It does look like it. Yeah, that looks like some very small roots. So let me go ahead and locate and mark this. We're going to pause the video. Okay, we've got this marked out in the courtyard. It is 19 inches deep. So yeah, we can see that little fissure line on the right side of the pipe there, and then some small roots getting in from that fissure line and the hub of the cast. So, a little bit of debris in our camera lens there. Okay, there's where our kitchen dumps into the line. We're going to go ahead and pause the video and see if this is also where the area drain for the courtyard is illegally dumping in. Okay, so, sorry, we might have had the unit recording there and it's stopped. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and see if this is where the water comes in. Go ahead and dump it in! Okay, there it goes. So yeah, the water's coming in right here at this spot where there's that sag and belly to the line. So this is the T-junction that they added in. We can't see because we're underwater, and that's why it's a misaligned T-junction. So this sag or belly is probably a plastic pipe. So we'll go ahead and pause and locate this. Okay, so we have a 1-inch camera on this line. We do have a centering guide on, but again, you can see we're completely underwater here, and so that's where the T-junction is, and that's why we have that sag belly, because of how the T-junction was installed for that area drain, which again is illegal and not to code to have it dump in that manner, but that's what they did. So we're now going to go ahead and leave this camera in here, and we're going to go ahead and test to see the other kitchen and other bathroom as a proper main sewer connection. Okay, so we've now moved to the other side of the house where we have the kitchen, laundry, and small half powder bath. So we're going to go in. There is a 2-inch ABS clean out here for the kitchen line, so it looks like they must have replaced part or all of the kitchen line. And we'll see if this remains to be ABS. This is all plastic, so that's good. Okay, here's a turn on the line. Okay, this appears to be 3-inch, so it does appear to be right size. Looks like this might be where the toilet empties into. And then here's where we go back to the original cast iron. Appears to be 3-inch. It has to be by code. It looks too wide open to be 2-inch. So here we have a T-junction right here. We do have the laundry and utility sink a little farther away. This could also have been an original clean out access. I think there was a clean out in the garage by the utility. So this cast iron is open and clear. There's some cobwebs in there, those aren't roots. Okay, here's our T where we connect into the main. So there's water running through. There's our other orange push rod from that camera. So somebody might have been using the other bathroom actually. Anyway, this is that line. So this is a 3-inch line dumping into there. So as we back up though, the one thing we notice is that the rooftop does not have any vents for the powder bathroom. We're going to double check the kitchen as well, but we do have a T-junction at the clean out that starts to go out, so we believe there's a vent for the kitchen, but there is no vent for the laundry, which is out of code, and on the rooftop there's no 2-inch vent for the toilet, which is across from the lab. Would have to have its own vent the way it's plumbed. So we're missing an 1.5-inch vent for the the lavatory sink, and we're missing a 2-inch vent for the toilet. As of right now, we do have the laundry vent. We're going to go ahead and back up the line right now, so we'll pause the video. Okay, so we've attached a small third camera. We're here outside the kitchen. Here's our one we just inspected. So as we go inside, you can see there is a T-junction. The pipe goes up, but there's no vent for the kitchen on the rooftop either, which there has to be by code. So what we're going to try to do is force this camera to look up a little bit, if we can get it to do that, just to see if we can see the path of that going any distance upwards here. Okay, so there we go. We're just looking up. Looks like that's where the kitchen's dumping into the line. Alright, so we've got this vent going up, up. It's going quite a ways up, so I don't know why we don't see it on the rooftop here. Still going up. Don't see any sunlight though, that's what's a little weird. Okay, so now we're at a possible turn. So I think what's possible is they may have actually tied in all the laundry vent to all of these vents for this. Now we know the lavatory does not have one, as evidenced under the sink, but it's possible that the toilet and the kitchen are running across the ceiling, these vents, and tying into the laundry. So we've got something there. So what we're going to do is back up our camera. Let's see, now that we got those cobwebs off, let's see if they stay off. See if we have a little bit more of a view. I'll get to this. Let's see if this is a turn or a cap. That looks like a possible cap there or something. We got that debris hanging off it. I can't tell there. That might be a junction, or is it capped? It looks like it's capped. So that looks like it's up to the rooftop, but they may have abandoned it. So what we'll do is we'll pause the video and put our locator on and see where we're at. Okay, so what we are looking at is the shingles layers covered up the roof vent. So we are on the rooftop. We located, we marked it with a small circular X on just part of the stucco overhang from the roof so it could be seen, but that's going to have to be opened up and properly exposed for this vent. So we're going to pull the camera back down and use this special camera to go through the toilet bowl to see if they have any type of T-junction for a vent, because there's, again, nothing on the rooftop at all. And we're going to go through the bowl to see if the sewer, before it continues out, has at least a T-junction, and maybe there's a vent buried in the wall for that as well. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so we're now here in this powder bathroom, and so we just want to show the lab sink drains. You can see here it does not go into the wall where it would need to go, so it would have a vent. It has a couple 90s, now eventually goes into there and across to tie in, but we cannot verify that it has a vent because there's nothing on the rooftop. So we'll try to see if this plug comes undone, if we can get across, but they've got so many tight 90s. They also use an improper vent 90. So this 90 right here, immediately, that's called a vent 90. That's not allowed for drain pipe. It's a very sharp, quick turn, not permitted. They used one down here as well, so I don't know if our cameras are going to get through that. We'll give it a try just to see. So maybe there's a vent pipe going up that was abandoned. But we're first going to go ahead and over here look at the toilet, since we again do not also see a vent for the toilet. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get this special camera through the bowl, and we'll see as it continues across, we would see a T-junction for the vent. So we'll see if we're able to do that. But again, there's none on the rooftop. Here's the end of the bowl. We're going to flush the toilet here to see if the water helps our camera get through. We may not be able to get through, so we'll give it a try here. Unfortunately, every toilet bowl is slightly different, of course, in its design, and so the china and trapway for this older rig's toilet's not allowing our camera special drain unit called a micro drain from Rigid that can get through a lot of toilet traps is not going to get through here. So unfortunately, somebody would have to pull the toilet and verify then with the camera that it's going across. Now we know there's still, again, no rooftop vent that we can see. So either they have nothing, or they have an auto or Studer vent buried in the wall, or they have it up to the rooftop almost, and they just have it sealed over like they did with the kitchen possibly. So they can either rip open the rooftop in this general wall direction, or try to use the cameras to verify part of it at least. So we're not going to be able to get across there to see that. We know that they put in some new plastic, so it's impossible to say how or what was done and not done, but that's it for that. So that concludes the recording for this property.